Hello everyone, welcome to 40 Masters 40 Sundays. So this is a wonderful session we are taking on every Sunday in collaboration with PSSM UAE team and PMC English channel and special support by Pyramid Times. So we are very much happy that we are having this session on every Sunday and we are taking the wisdom of different masters. We will have our knowledge session from none other than Parnita Patri madam. And after that, we will have a group meditation session. So stay with us and let us experience the togetherness with everyone, right? And for the newcomers, those who not know about today's guest, Parnita madam, she is the founder of PSSM Swag. She is a meditation mentor, and she is a new age spiritual empowerment coach and voice for the voiceless. And above all, she is the elder daughter of our beloved Brahmarshi Subhash Patriji. So let us give a big round of applause to her. And let us start today's session. She will speak about full moon meditation. Welcome to the show, madam.
And thank you very much, everyone, for joining in. I am very happy to be here. And there's one new concept that I have learned in the past month about full moon meditation. And we all know that Patriji has put great stress on full moon meditation, that we have to meditate on full moons. Now, we are going to understand why should we meditate on full moons. Like the answers will be given by one of the great authors that we have ever seen, Torkam Saradarian, that in his one of the books, I'll just start the presentation. So, my dear friends, this particular subject has been accepted from the Wisdom of the Zodiac, Volume 1, written by Torkam Saradarian, my dear friends. So, this is a great subject, a great science behind the full moons, and it will give us the right reasons, the logical reasons as to why should we celebrate or meditate on full moon days or nights, whatever. So this is something which we all need to understand and learn so that we get more clarity as to what to do and what not to do. And so this is how it goes. And this may take at least about 1 hour. Just letting you know, because this is a great subject and it takes little time for me to explain things. So then we are told that the exact moment of the full moon. See, what actually happens is that on the full moon days or nights, what happens is the moon comes near to Earth. And when the moon comes near to Earth, the sun shines more on the moon. And it's the sun's effect that falls on the Earth actually, and the moon's effect becomes less. And the moons become less, and the sun's rays are actually more. That is why we have to meditate on full moon days. Because the inspiration or ideas on everything comes from the sun and not from the moon. The moon's effect becomes less on full moon days, and the sun's effect becomes more on full moon days. The other days, moon's effect is there on the earth. So that is the science behind full moon and what exactly happens on the full moon days or nights. So, and these cosmic currents accumulate around the sun, and the sun focuses them on the solar system. As simple as that. So, this is the time that all the disciples of spirituality, all the students of spirituality should meditate and then later distribute in their activities, my dear friends. This is the time that they absorb, because the sun energies are directly onto the earth without the interference of the moon energies, lunar energies. That is why we have to meditate on the full moon. And so, my dear friends, in order to take advantage of the full moon opportunity, we need to prepare ourselves, and we need to prepare ourselves for the full moon for 5 days. The first 2 days are called preparation. Day of the full moon is called the contact, and the 2 days after the full moon are called the radiation days. So totally 5 days, my dear friends. So this is the process that we have to undergo on every full moon. And we have got 12 wonderful opportunities to take this forward. So what is preparation now? What is preparation? What do we have to prepare? We have to prepare our physical body, emotional body, and mental body for every full moon. So for example, if I am the phone and the plug is somewhere in the higher worlds and we need a cable, a wire to charge our phone. So this wire has to be a tremendous, it has to be purified. It has to be right. It has to be in perfect condition to be able to connect to the higher forces. Only then will we be charged. Only then this phone will be charged correctly. Because that is a powerhouse of energies at the full moon time. And we need to be ready. We need to be ready physical level, emotional level, and mental level as well, so that we get connected to the higher sources. So the basic thing is that we should not have any poisons in all these three bodies. No poisons whatsoever. When we don't have any poisons in these three bodies, we'll be able to connect to the higher energies in a more efficient way, in a more perfect way, in the better way, the best way possible. So then the wire needs to be clean and conductive, my dear friends, and to have a purified nature so that when the switch is turned on, the wire does not overheat or become damaged. We should not become damaged. We should not become overheated. And when we are clean, when we are healthy, that is when everything will come into you, to our organs, to our nervous system, to our glandular systems, all the systems will be perfect. What happens is, these systems, when your etheric, emotional, mental centers are perfect, without any poisons. That is what happens on full moon days. And how can we prepare the physical body? We will go step by step, practically. I will tell you what to do and how to do. So the physical body can be prepared during the days of preparation by proper rest. Because rest is very, very essential for the etheric centers and the nervous system. Isn't it, my dear friends? So when we have proper rest, like when you, Patriji, whenever he says that, relax your body, sit in a comfortable position, that is what he does. He relaxes the body first. Only when you have a relaxed body, that is when you can go into meditation even more better. And when we rest, many poisons that we have accumulated in our physical and etheric systems are eliminated, my dear friends. And what all we have to do, we are advised not to drink alcohol, smoke cigarettes, or any kinds of drugs or sexual activities during this time. This is what the book says. All the 5 days, my dear friends. This is all for all the 5 days. And because such substances reduce the sensitivity and the magnetism of the physical mechanism, my dear friends. It really reduces. And in order to absorb and radiate the currents of inspiration from the full moon time, the physical body must be sensitive and free from any kind of poisons. All kinds of poisons. And then we come to emotional preparation. Why should we prepare our emotional body? Our goal is to make the emotional body a pure conductor of cosmic energies. And if the energies of the emotional nature are not pure and sensitive, it distorts the incoming energies and creates disturbances in our lives. It does, isn't it? And now we need to understand what are the kinds of emotions that we need to eliminate from our body, emotional body. We need to prepare our bodies, my dear friends, so that we are prepared. See, if I want to come to Dubai, I need to pack properly. I need to do everything properly. I need to take the visa. I need to have the passport. I need to buy the ticket. I need to travel properly. I need to wear the right clothes. I need to have the right accessories. Everything I need to be prepared so that when I reach Dubai, I'm not disturbed by anything. When you travel only, you make so much of arrangement, so much of thinking goes on, so much of preparation goes on. What about the full moon times when we have to contact the higher centers? Should we not be prepared when we are traveling there? Yes, of course. So this is how we prepare our emotional body. And these are the poisons that you need to remove from your emotional body. And what are they? They are fear, anger, hatred, jealousy, revenge, and desire. All desires result from an attachment to a form rather than to the life within the form. The first thing that we need to lose attachment from are the objects that we have in our life. They are the reason that we are so much attached to emotional attachment towards the objects. Do you have any emotional attachments to any objects whatsoever? Before you practice detachment from people, practice detachment with objects. What do you identify yourself with? That is the most important thing. And fear, anger, hatred, jealousy, revenge are the most important poisons that we need to eliminate completely from your emotional body. And definitely you can't do it at one go. You have to keep practicing so that you are persistent enough. In every full moon, you have an opportunity to conquer yourself and eliminate them. Definitely. So this is what it is. And we need to expand and uplift our consciousness and making ourselves inclusive and universal. You need to take these poisons out, and at the same time, making ourselves inclusive and universal to have oneness in our emotional system. And then next we have the preparation of the mental nature. And the first thing that you must do is to try to eliminate your showing off and vanity. And vanity means to think you are someone very beautiful or outstanding when you are actually not. To think that you have many talents when you have only one or none. To think that you can do everything when in fact maybe you can do only a few things. Vanity is an inflated self-importance, my dear friends. You are obsessed with yourself, your personality nature. What is personality? The physical, emotional, mental bodies become the personality, constitute the personality. You become attached to your shell rather than your true self, your real self, your core. So what do you have to eliminate from your mental body? Showing off and vanity. These are the two things that we need to eliminate from our system, from our mental system. It's okay that I am important to myself, but it is not okay that I expect everyone to give importance to me. That is wrong. That is definitely wrong. So, why must such disturbing traits be eliminated from your nature? Why? Is there a reason that we need to do this? Yes, definitely. Because if they are not eliminated, every time you receive a higher energy, it will stimulate your negative traits. If you have seeds of weeds in your flower garden, the water and sunlight make them sprout and grow, sometimes faster than the flower grow. I'll give you an example before this. So I want you to imagine a beautiful garden, a backyard, or maybe somewhere in your home or outside of your home, you have a backyard or a garden or something like that. Imagine you have a beautiful garden, you have all the kinds of vegetables, fruits, and flower plants, and everything that you have in your garden. Just imagine. So in this garden, you have so many vegetables, fruits, and flower plants, and also you have, weeds or waste plants or anything like that. Now, when you try to water your garden, take out the pipe or take out a bucket or take out a tumbler or something like that and try to water your garden, will the water go only to the vegetable plants, fruit plants or flower plants, or will it go also to the weeds? Will it go also to the weeds? That is the question that we have to ask here. Does water say that no, this plant is useless, so I should not go there, and this plant is useful, so I should go only here? Does the water discriminate in any such way? When we garden our when we water our garden, we can't order the water to go only to the right plants or not to the wrong plants. Plants which are useless, which are just there. So this is what happens when you go for the full moon meditation as well. Just imagine you are the garden. Okay. we all have a dark side and a light side as well. So when the energy comes through to us, the full moon energies, so what happens is that, see, when the energy comes to you, will that energy go only to your light side or to your dark side as well? Does it water your entire system, or does it water only your light side? And do we act as traffic policemen saying that no, 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 you have to go only to the light side, don't go to the dark side, which is existing in us? The entire energy goes to each and every part of our system, your physical system, your emotional system, and your mental system. So what do we do in the garden where it has weeds? We hold them and cut them off. As simple as that, don't we? If we don't want the weeds to grow, what do? We cut them off. So the poisons that we have talked about till now, the physical poisons, the emotional poisons, and the mental poisons, those are the weeds. Those are the unnecessary things that we have in our systems, in all the three systems that we have discussed about. So we need to take the weeds out of our system so that they don't grow. If you keep it, they will grow. If you don't keep it, they don't have a chance to grow. As simple as that. So if you have seeds of weeds in your flower garden, the water and the sunlight make them sprout and grow. The sunlight does not discriminate. Oh, I have to, shine on only on these plants. I should not shine on those plants. No, the sun shines on each and every plant equally, so that all plants grow. All human beings live. And those weeds can sometimes grow faster than the flowers grow. Just imagine you are that garden, my dear friends. You are that garden. And you have the weeds, you have the, like, we can discriminate between, like, necessary plants and unnecessary plants, necessary emotions and unnecessary emotions, necessary thoughts and unnecessary thoughts, poisons and non-poisons. So when you meditate and that full moon energy comes to you, you are getting energy. When you talk about saying that, okay, when I meditate, I am getting energy. What is that I? You consist of everything that you are. You consist of your anger, you consist of your love, you consist of your selfishness, you consist of your selflessness. You are consisting of everything that you are. You totally, whatever you are getting that energy. I get energy. I am getting energy. Not just your light side is getting energy, your dark side is also getting energy. We need to understand that. And then after the 2 days of preparation, after the emotional, mental, and physical preparation, the day of the contact arrives, the day of the full moon, where we meditate for hours together to get the full moon energies, isn't it, my dear friends? But then we can get contact only when we prepare our personality vehicles, which is the physical, emotional, mental vehicles, in a proper way. We have to make the wire conductive and neat and clean and pure so that we have the contact. And so what is this contact? A contact can be a breakthrough in your nature. It can be a contact with your higher self, with a vision within you or a future within you. And the future within you is beyond what you now call yourself. In every company interview that I used to go to, they used to ask me one question. How do you see yourself in the next 5 years? How do you see yourself in the next 10 years? Now, to ask you, imagine with the Buddha, and the Buddha is asking you, how do you see yourself in the next 5 years? How do you see yourself in the next 10 years? This is a very common question in the corporate sector, isn't it? When you interview somebody. So what is your plan? People do financial planning, career planning, family planning. Why can't we do soul planning? That's something which we all need to work on. So the contact will be with your soul, with your master, with your ashram, with the cosmic energy or cosmic being, and you can come in contact with the hierarchy. You can contact the Christ, any master, or anyone you really love. And contact means to go beyond yourself, my dear friends. Break your fears, break your limitations, break your inhibitions, break your shell, break your ice. That is what is contact. If it is not putting you in an uncomfortable zone, it is not a contact. If it is not, putting you in a spot, it is not contact. It has to put you in a spot. It has to make you uncomfortable. It has to make you go beyond yourself, stretch your limitations, stretch yourself. That's called as a breakthrough. And that is what is contact. And only when you prepare yourself properly will you be able to have the contact. And the exact moment of the full moon is a very sacred moment. This is when we go into ourselves and say, I'm here. Where are you? I'm looking for you. Where are you? You go inside, you get connected to your soul or your heart or your master or your intuition or whatever you want to say. Where are you? I need your guidance. Where are you? I'm looking for you. That is why they say when the student is ready, the teacher appears. You have to be ready. Unless until you are ready, how will you expect the teacher to appear? There's a very deep meaning in that quotation. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. You don't want to make yourself ready. You don't want to purify your personality vehicles, but you want the contact. How? So you can have that higher contact. You may feel an electrical charge in your body that can cause a change in your nature. Your nature, my dear friends. And then when you return to your home or office, you will see things in a different way, from a different perspective. And you will stop taking things personally. You will stop taking things personally. So the thing is that I want you to see a difference between a person who has made a contact and a person who has not made a contact. There has to be a great difference between these both. For example, if I call a person who has made a contact stupid, if I call a person who has not made a contact stupid, if they both react in the same way, I don't see any difference. I'm sorry. If a person who has not made the contact reacts in a very violent way towards me, if I call them stupid, I understand. But if I call a person who has made the contact with the higher forces, he is with the higher purpose and everything. If I call that person stupid and he reacts, just think about it. They respond, they don't react. People who have not made the contact react, they don't respond because they have not yet made the contact with their own hearts. Nothing has happened. So we understand that. What I don't understand is the person who has made a contact has reacted. That I don't understand. So as the charging process increases the full moon after full moon, you will develop a holistic approach to life and all events. You will develop a very, very sharp intuition, and people will no longer be able to deceive you. No longer will be able to manipulate you, deceive you, cheat you, or lie to you, whatever you want to name it as. They just can't. They just can't. Because you have that knowing inside you. You have that intuition always guiding you throughout your life. And people will definitely not manipulate you. They will once or twice they try, you will not be fooled by them. The third time they'll stop trying also. And you'll become a source of freedom and goodness for other people. Right. You have done 2 days of preparation, preparing your physical body, emotional body, and mental body. Wonderful, amazing. The third day, you have the contact day, wherein you have contact the hierarchy, contact the higher forces, contact your inner master, astral master, greater master, whatever that master is. You have contacted the higher worlds. All right. Now, what will you do with these higher energies that you receive at the full moon time? That is the question. Receiving the energies is not enough. You need to know what to do with those energies. You need to know what to do with those energies. You can't be a pot full of holes that you leak your energy out unnecessarily. You're getting the energy for a reason, and you need to use that very economically, very appropriately, very wisely. And what to do? Those are the 2 days of radiation after the full moon day, where you have to radiate it out. Whatever you receive, you have to radiate. You have to become a broadcasting satellite of what you have received with your contact. So on the first and second days after the full moon, you must radiate these energies to your surroundings, and you will do this with utmost solemnity and love, and spreading these energies through your thoughts, through your actions, through your speech, through your music, through your paintings, through your art, through your dance, through your beauty, through your everything that you are. Your energy will speak. You don't have to even open your mouth. Your energy will speak. So you must send peace, beauty, harmony, and unity everywhere, and proclaiming through your thoughts that we are all human beings and we all want to live together in goodwill on this planet. And we should be able to do this with each and every human being, irrespective of our likes and dislikes, irrespective of whether we gel with them or not. If we are still under the influence of our likes and dislikes, we are still doing emotional slavery, not mastery. I have come up with a quotation saying that following your heart doesn't necessarily mean that you do what you like and don't do what you don't like. Following your heart means that you do the right thing irrespective of your likes and dislikes. It doesn't matter whether your emotional body likes it or not. When your heart tells you something, you have to do it, no matter whether you like it or not. We need to master our emotional body so that we can listen to our heart. So you must broadcast these thoughts as if you're working in a broadcasting station, and then you must talk about these beautiful concepts. If you're a writer or a musician, you must emphasize them in your work that day. When you meet people, you must bring these ideas to them through a joy or a smile, or when you say something about how it is possible to create a world of harmony in which everyone can enjoy living on earth. So, my dear friends, if you do the necessary preparation, you will be able to control these energies, express them creatively, and not become overwhelmed or distorted by them. Now, I have to tell you what happens when you don't prepare yourself. What happens when you don't prepare yourself? So, here in preparation, they are saying that during the time of preparation, you will turn to the turn off the lower centers. So, my dear friends, what happens is that the lower bodies, which is the physical, emotional, and lower mental body, are called the lunar bodies. The higher bodies, which is the physical body, the astral body, and the higher mental body, are called the solar bodies. These are the lunar bodies, these are the solar bodies. In the full moon time, the higher bodies, the solar bodies are activated, and the lunar bodies are switched off. And the rest of the time, the lunar bodies are activated, the higher bodies are activated once in a while. Depends on every person. So, for example, you can close your solar plexus by avoiding gossip, criticism, and unnecessary talking and slander. This is how you shut off your solar plexus. The lower system, my dear friends, the lunar bodies. So when we talk about astral body, see, my dear friends, emotional body and astral body are the same. Emotional body and astral body are the same. It's just this is a lower body, this is a higher body. Organized emotions, wherever in a body where organized emotions are there, that's called the astral body. In a body which has disorganized emotions are called the emotional body. So do you want to exist in the astral body or do you want to exist in the emotional body? That is up to you. Do you want your emotions to be organized, where unnecessary emotions are not ruling you or influencing you? Be at the astral level, at the solar body level, not at the lunar body level. So if you want to shut off your solar plexus, gossip, criticism, unnecessary talking, slander should end immediately. And you can also close the center by raising the solar plexus into the heart center. Just raise it to the heart center. It becomes lovingness. The real love of the heart center should, with pure understanding and intuition. So make the lower centers higher. That is what we need to do. And in addition, you can raise the energy of the sex center to the throat center, which is the center of creativity. So all your creative centers should come to your throat, expressing yourself in a more creative way. And if people do not prepare themselves, this is very important, my dear friends. We need to really, please listen to this carefully. This is what happens when we don't prepare ourselves well. So the incoming energies overstimulate them. When the energies come, they say and do stupid things. We don't know why we are laughing. We don't know what we are talking. We don't know what we are thinking. I don't know why my hands are moving like this. We are not in our own control. We laugh for no reason. We cry for no reason. We become so emotionally and mentally unstable. We become angry for no reason when we don't know why it is happening to me. Can you please observe yourself on every full moon as to what is happening to you? Please observe yourself. What is happening within you? And most crimes are committed during these full moon days. The psychiatric hospitals are filled during these full moon times. Most suicides and depressions are happening during these full moon times. This is because the energies are too much for them to handle and they cannot control the extra stimulation. This is what happens when we don't prepare ourselves well for the full moon energies, my dear friends. And we participate in the full moon period not to become unbalanced, but to go through a purification process every month. And after the purification process, we become better able to radiate light and love to others. And we also realize that we must become more responsible in our lives. Sense of responsibility is very important. What we speak, how we speak, what we think, what are our emotions. We are a gift to the humanity. We are a gift to the humankind. Why can't we see ourselves as like that? We are not just living for ourselves. We are living for everyone. We are a gift to the humanity. Do we want to be a gift to the humanity or do we want to become just another person on this planet Earth? Consuming all the natural resources, damaging everything without responsibility, killing all the animals, polluting the Mother Earth, everything. This is the greatest achievement, my dear friends. And if you can make someone a person of responsibility so that he cares for the planet, for human life, and for the future of our children, both you and he have had a tremendous breakthrough. Sense of responsibility. That is why Patriji says, become a vegetarian. Don't kill animals. Follow ahimsa. Don't torture animals. Do some Swachh Bharat. Do you think he just says just like that? No. There's a very deep meaning in whatever he says. We need to be responsible. Our actions should have responsibility. Our words should have responsibility. Our thoughts should have responsibility. Our emotions should have a responsibility. And how to observe the full moon now? That is one thing. The last part of this section. So observing the full moon is a period not is not a religious or a cult practice, but it is a science, and it is a science of energies, as we have already studied till now. And the great ones were wise enough to utilize the seasons and the cycles of energy in order to achieve personal transmutation and transformation and to transmit higher energies to the world. That is what higher masters do. So I have read this book about full moon times, and I'm sharing it with everyone so that it helps everyone. That is my job. That is what I have to do. And it is something that I don't have a choice with. I have to spread it across. I have to share it with you. I can't keep it to myself. Because if I do, I will become stagnant. And I don't want myself to become stagnant. The water or the energy should keep flowing from me to you, from you to everybody, from everybody to everybody. It has to keep flowing. Otherwise, we'll become stagnant. And if we adjust ourselves to the cycles of the seasons of the greater universe, we will create harmony between ourselves and the universe. Patriji says, you are the universe. So this is what it means. You are the universe. And full moons are like real estate or bank accounts. I'm sure all the entrepreneurs or the people who are in the real estate will understand this better, or in the financial thing. So if you do not take the opportunity of the full moons, you lose greater contacts with the universe and greater contacts with your own soul, and you miss new breakthroughs toward cosmos. Just imagine there's a piece of land which is on the market, which at a good price. Don't you want to grab it at the same time? Don't you want to go and buy it with such a good price? If you miss this opportunity, the price might go up, or the land might be bought by somebody else. So you have to catch the opportunities at the right time. And so that is it, my dear friends. The phenomenon of the moon, full moon, I think we have already said this. And the Tibetan master says that the etheric body of the moon has already disappeared and only its astral body remains. Astral means emotional body, which has an organized emotions. All right. So moon is basically a dead planet. It gets its light from the sun. That's it. And it's already dead. And because of this, the moon tremendously influences human emotions. And when the sun hits the moon and pushes back all that astral radiation, we are left alone to come to our senses and listen to our inner suggestions. And that happens on these 5 days. We come to our senses, my dear friends. And we have to prepare ourselves. That is when we can have the contact. If we can't prepare ourselves, we will have to face the energies that we can't handle. And so as we move from the full moon to the new moon, we are involved in more earthbound activities. Our 3 lower bodies are called the lunar bodies. And when the rays of the sun hit the moon less and less, the moon affects the personality vehicles more, and striving towards the light becomes difficult. That is why each and every full moon must be utilized to the utmost that you can. Utmost that you can. And it is a super scientific method to observe the full moon. Observation means to take the opportunity at the full moon time and do the necessary things to expand your consciousness, to gain control over your body, and eventually to release the light within you. Simple as that. As simple as that. Prepare, contact, radiate. Simple. And at the full moon time, which lasts only for 12 hours, all of the hierarchy. Just imagine, my dear friends, the entire higher masters, higher world sits at that time for meditation. And you are sitting at that time for meditation. Just imagine the connection that you will have after the preparation time. After the preparation time. This means that they radiate towards humanity a great energy of concepts, ideas, thought forms, love, and wisdom. It's not just energy, these are all energy. Ideas are energy, concepts are energy, thought forms are energy, love is energy, wisdom is energy. All these things are energy that you receive. And they radiate their light, love, and power toward humanity so that they may help humanity disperse the mental, emotional, and physical pollutions, the poisons that we keep ourselves with. And at the full moon time, hierarchy is thus doing a great service for humanity. So, in turn, what is the kind of service that we have to do? We have to prepare ourselves, make ourselves a gift for humanity, and then spread out, radiate it out. And the second thing happens at the full moon, the inner guide or the angel within you, the transpersonal self, tries to do the same thing the hierarchy is doing. It just mimics, it just copies whatever the higher master says. And it radiates its love, light, and energy to the personality and to the human soul. This is what we have to do, my dear friends. This is what will expand our consciousness. This is what will purify you. Like for real, not hypothetically, not on the surface, not on the periphery, nothing. It goes deep into yourself. Like real cleaning, real purification should happen. And the third thing that happens at every full moon is that one who's watching you, whether it is your teacher, your master, Christ, or any great one, sends a line of love to you so that you're attracted to him more closely. Just imagine you fall into a well and somebody, you call help, 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 and somebody throws a rope into the well to save you. How happy would that make you feel? That is what they do. When you become ready, a rope will come to you to uplift you. And if you can catch this cable and hold on to it, you have a hope to live. And it is at this full moon time that the watchful eye may contact you if you are magnetic enough and ready enough. If there's an if there. If you are magnetic enough and ready enough. So that's about it, my dear friends. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share what I have learned. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. That was a really wonderful session. And I would say, as you rightly said, that this kind of knowledge is very much essential for everyone, whether they are aware about meditation or not. But every person who is living on this earth should know what kind of changes do happen on full moon days. Because as you rightly said, that there are a lot of emotional changes that take place, and there's so many changes happening at the emotional level, the astral level, and so many things are happening. So everybody, those who are watching this session, and since you have known this thing about the full moon, and I request that you share this knowledge with everyone, with your friends, family, so that like as madam has rightly shared in her presentation, that during this period a lot of crimes do happen. There is a lot of fight among the families. Maybe the reason they do not know, like whatever the emotion they carry on that particular time, that gets magnified. So if you are in the lower emotion side, that gets magnified. You are at the higher emotion end, so that gets magnified. So we have to see that what kind of emotions we are carrying on that particular days of full moon. Yes, ma'am, that was very wonderful session. So I request our participants to ask your questions if you have any on today's topic.
I don't think we have any questions. Do we have any questions, my dear masters?
I'm just what is the significance of group meditation while during the full moon days? Will it add any additional value, or we have to spend
Yes.
alone? Yeah.
Yes. Group meditation does have a great effect. But the only thing that the focus is on this subject is that whether it is a group or individuals, they have to be prepared. Preparation is more important. The preparation has been more focused on this meditation. Like you do meditation individually or in a group meditation or your nature meditation, you have to cleanse yourself internally, like all the poison should be away. So that is when it will the contact will happen. That is what has been emphasized over here. It can be group meditation, it can be an individual meditation, it can be an individual consciousness or a group consciousness. Group consciousness will happen, but expanding the consciousness will happen when you prepare yourself.
Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, and thank you for this opportunity. I'll see you again next time. Thank you. Lovely to be here. Thank you.